realm of nefarious activity. We've come a long way since then, to the point where major regulators around the world are recognizing the positive elements of this technology and how the transparency and efficiency that crypto technologies such as Bitcoin can provide. So always believe that there would be regulation when this sector and the industry grew to the point where there were a lot of users. And so I believe it's a net positive. I mean, there are those in the sector that don't want to see any sort of regulation, but in order for the sector to grow, I think we are going to have to be regulated, and it's important that the regulators understand what this technology is about.
Yeah, Jalak, David Hollerith here. I had sort of more of a venture-focused question, which was, after sort of going to this Bitcoin conference, which was obviously focused on Bitcoin, I've sort of noticed that the VC funding investment for crypto projects is typically higher in other ecosystems than it is for Bitcoin. And I was just sort of curious if you would explain more, or if you maybe if you didn't see that trend.
Hi, David. Great to talk to you. I do believe that historically, so in 2014, there really was only Bitcoin. Ethereum hadn't ICO'd yet, so we didn't have this explosion of other cryptocurrencies when we launched Future Perfect Ventures. And then that changed pretty quickly in 2016 and 2017 with the ICO boom. But what we're starting to see is innovation happening back on Bitcoin. We certainly have seen it play out as a store of value, as a hedge against inflation, as we've seen these expansionary monetary policies around the world over the last couple of years. But at the end of the day, Bitcoin is the most secure blockchain that exists right now. It has not been hacked. And a lot of developers are understanding that and seeing that and wanting to build new solutions for payments, for lending and borrowing on the Bitcoin blockchain. We also have seen a number of NFT platforms, NFT projects that historically, I'd say over the last year, have been based more on Ethereum and to a lesser extent Solana and Tezos. We're starting to see more being built on the Bitcoin blockchain. And so I think that's positive for that blockchain and the industry as a whole.
Jalak, this is Emily here. What areas of crypto and blockchain are you most excited about investing in as a VC right now?
Hi, Emily. So this goes back to our conversation in the beginning about regulators. And I think one of the things that regulators want to see, and I, as an investor and avid user of cryptocurrency, want to see is security, ease of use. Just like the internet in 1995, 1996, it was clunky. It took sometimes felt like days to download one application or one email. And we're kind of in that phase of crypto now. To buy an NFT, we have to go to MetaMask, we have to buy Ethereum. There's not full security around some of these storage facilities that we have. So we're very interested in investing that picks and shovels of making sure that the next billion people that come online and start using crypto don't worry about losing their crypto and their hard-earned money. And then taking that one step further, I mentioned borrowing and lending on crypto. And once we have crypto as an asset, how can we leverage that and use it in ways beyond just spending it, which fosters or enables taxation? Can we use it as an asset like we can a home? And so I think we're in the very, very beginning stages of what all of this innovation and these applications are going to be. And so we have two funds behind us, invested in a lot of the infrastructure that enabled a lot of this. But this next stage is how do we bring this to the billions of people that don't currently have access to any cryptocurrency?
Jalak, lastly, crypto has long had a diversity problem. I think back to a couple years ago, a lot of these crypto conferences, you would see photos of men driving up in G-Wagons and Lamborghinis. Have you started to see increased diversity in the space?
Absolutely. And we saw this in the early days of the internet too. Once you start to see a broader range of applications, you start to see more people getting engaged and interested in the sector. So, I remember my first Bitcoin conference in 2013. I was the only woman in the room. That rarely happens these days. I mean, it still happens in some board meetings, but we're seeing more and more engagement. I mean, we have a long way to go. If you think about finance, historically hasn't had a lot of women, and really the genesis of Bitcoin and crypto comes from the finance world. So we have that working against us. But as we see more proliferation of applications into media and healthcare and other sectors, I'm seeing more women start to get engaged. And I'd like to see more female investors also. We were the first female founded venture capital fund, one of the first venture capital funds in the space. And that's certainly starting to change. And that's fantastic to see.
Indeed it is. All right, we'll leave it here for now. Jalak Jobanputra, Future Perfect Ventures founder and CEO, and Yahoo Finance's David Hollerith. Thanks both.